Hello! In this short video I will show you how you can streamline your work process in creating cable termination diagram using Integral Smart Electrical. Creating cables termination drawings begin from gathering cabling requirements in terms of cable properties, connected equipment and other details. With Smart Electrical we can use a block diagram to automatically organize the necessary cables and their connections. This visual representation makes it easier to understand and manage the connectivity. In this example, I have two MCC feeders connecting power and control cables to respective motors, their push-button stations and PLC cabinet. Once equipment suppliers are selected for your project, electrical designers typically use equipment wiring specifications to model termination strips. With Smart Electrical, you can configure catalog equipment termination strips using Reference Data Explorer. For example, a low power motor may have a 5-terminal strip, while an MCC feeder for such motors might include two strips, one for power and another for control circuits. A PLC cabinet, in turn, would house multiple termination strips like these ones as an example. You also can configure a variety of termination patterns typically sourced from equipment wiring specs or control and protection schematics. You can now start creating your wiring drawing. At first, you create equipment terminal strips. The software allows to manually create individual equipment strips, but I will apply a custom developed utility that will help to automate this work process. I will select all items in the block diagram and run the custom command. It will list the selected items in this UI, allowing me to associate the planned equipment with reference equipment which already have termination strips defined in the reference data editor. Clicking Apply button will process to apply reference equipment strips to the selected project equipment. Once finished, you can show related items for each motor and observe new terminal strips created for the motors and its associated equipment like a control station, MCC feeder, as well as the PLC cabinet. Now drag and drop items from Reference Items window to the wiring diagram document. That will automatically draft terminal strips using library symbols. You can do the same for the second motor. Open Related Items window and drag and drop equipment strips to the wiring diagram. You can drop them in the same drawing or create another wiring drawing and drop it there if you want to issue a separate wiring document. Next, we need to terminate the cables. While you can manually terminate each cable one by one, I will use the batch cable connection feature. This functionality allows us to terminate multiple cables at once, making the process faster and more efficient. To process cable terminations in batch mode, I would have selected multiple cables in the block diagram to proceed. However, since this functionality requires some improvements, I will instead use cable tabular form. I will apply a filter to find power cables connected to both motors, then select the cables, go to Actions, Menu, Cables and open Batch Cable Connections window. Here I activate both cable sides, ensure that each cable will terminate at the first sequence strip of the respective equipment, and will use continuous connection type on both sides. So click OK to finish the task. Then refresh the wiring diagram from View menu and observe power cables have been terminated. Now in the Cable Engineering Data Editor, filter to find control cables connecting from both feeder circuits. Then select the cables, go to Actions menu, Cables, and open Batch Cables connection window. Activate both cable sides, ensure that cable at the feeder circuit side will terminate at the second sequence strip. Use the control circuit termination pattern, while the right side of the cable will terminate at the first sequence strip using continuous connection type. Click OK to finish the task. Then refresh the wiring diagram from View menu and observe control cables have been terminated. Similarly, you can open several wiring diagrams, operate with batch applying options to create strips and terminate cables. Once refreshed, it will automatically draft cable connections on the open drawings. The wiring diagram is flexible to make manual changes and adjustments while maintaining consistency with the other cross-reference deliverables like cable scheduler, single line diagram, and others. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.